Hello everyone, I'm Jong Yu from Jong YouTube TV. The reason why I start this channel is that the IFRS 17 is to be called actuarial paradigm shift, which sounds and means like ultra change. It is quite challenging and difficult to implement. I want to share what I have researched on so far and keep communicating with actuarial practitioner. I would like to talk about who I am and what I'm capable of based on my own personal history. I majored in international economics for the BA degree and also finished the master's program specializing in economics at the Seoul National University. Right before my graduation, I have joined in the LINA, which is a career branch of Cigna, when Lina hired the first newly starting employees. At Lina, my job was mostly the planning, but I started getting interested in the actuarial mathematics, so I started studying on my own. Soon after, I was fascinated by insurance system as a social security property and actuarial science itself. Ever since then, I'm here today. When the actuary from the Philadelphia worked on the profitability test for the new product, my job was to provide him with thousands of files for the future new contract production. Obviously, I had chances to talk with him and found out there is an actuarial science department at the university and faculty which consists of undergrad, masters, and PhD. He also gave me actuarial mathematics textbook written by Bauer and the others. It is so different and looks like another paradigm change to me. I was so shocked and made up my mind to study over there in one of the advanced countries if I keep working as an actuarial professional. I did research on which country, which university for several months and made a choice on the University of Waterloo in Canada. It was one of my best with the City University in London. While I was on the PhD program after the master's degree, the Korea faced the IMF moratorium and it affects my financial situations. I switched on getting a job in Canada to make a living for my family. I got offers both from the Life and PNC, but I made a choice for the PNC since my master's thesis is on the PNC side, although I didn't have experience at all. The first company, the first company was the Aviva, which was a Canadian branch of the UK PNC company. I have worked on a variety of fundamental actuarial works, ranging from ratemaking, reserving, and actuarial database construction and maintenance. Fortunately, I became the first Canadian for the GLM-based ratemaking modeler for the automobile and comprehensive personal property. GLM, the generalized linear model, later conquers the world of Europe and North America. Several years later, I moved to Canadian local actuarial consulting firm, D'Andrell and Associate, and obtained even more extensive range of practices. I used to be called the guy for the snowmobile to make fun of me because I have done rainmaking for the snowmobile, motorcycle, and even pet insurance, etc. There at D'Andrell and Associate. Anyhow, those experiences are the basis for my two books, Rainmaking and Reserving, which was translated version of Casualty of Actuarial Society exam part 5, reading materials, and practice manual at the same time. You could find some contents which don't exist in the original books. When I returned back to Korea for summer vacation after almost 10 years, I was recruited by Samsung PNC during recruiting the global core personnel. But I was put into a long-term product development team instead of automobile or general insurance. After a while, I was asked to do the rate filing for medical indemnity coverage, renewable annually. Request was to apply simply the calendar year loss ratio to adjust existing risk rate, frequency severity combined, obviously, and add the safety margin on it. Separate health insurance company deals with such products and coverage, and the year is 1 year or less. Remaking is done as per the PNC basis. Therefore, I recommend and persuade the executive to implement the rate-making system and process based on its own empirical data, and accordingly, the new actuarial database. I got an approval from the Kitty and FSS, the regulator, to deliver all the templates to Kitty. Kitty distributed those to the other companies that you're using right now. After 2 years, I set up my own actuarial consulting firm, GLEAS, Global Leaders of Insurance Solutions, and acquired the reseller position from the UK EMB in Korea. EMB used to be the UK actuarial consulting firm providing GLM software Emblem and dynamic financial analysis software, Igloo, and so on. It was my great regret that I wasn't successful to deliver GLM-based rate-making software and DFA modeling software, Igloo, to another many companies. I have joined in and created the actuarial team at the PricewaterhouseCoopers after GLEAS for some years. I have returned back to Canada, joined the Royal Bank of Canada PNC in year 2011. I have developed and managed the Solvency II internal model in cooperation with the Aviva and Sun Alliance for the first time at Canadian PNC companies. The stochastic modeling experience I have acquired from the dynamic financial analysis cooperative project with the old EMB really helped me to successfully establish the internal model. I have returned back to Korea to join in the EXA Direct Korea. Another even bigger shock attacked me at the ADK as a IFRS 17 team leader. Once I had a look at the IFRS 17 standards, the standards consist of main book, Appendix B, application guideline, and separate booklets, basis for conclusion, and illustrative examples. This time, shock was based on the fact that it was so suspicious for any Korean companies to be able to implement the system, which would be able to comply with the principles in the standards. Even though IFRS 17 standards has been developed and documented over 20 years to reflect over more than 10 years of Solvency II implementation experiences, it was called actuarial paradigm shift, meaning challenging task in the actuarial society of UK, USA, Canada, and Australia. After the ADK, I have worked on developing the IFRS 17 related system and consulting deliverables at the actuarial research team of the summit. On the other hand, I focused on performing the education and training for the actuarial practitioners in the industry as an advisory professor. I also contributed 48 series of articles for almost 2 years. More recently, I contributed another series of articles regarding the current internal status in Korea and some worries for the IFRS 17 at the Korean Economic Daily. However, there is an urgency because some critical issues arose within only a couple of months left before implementation date. So I made a decision to open up the YouTube channel showing urgently how measurement results should be validated and what are actual validating models looks like after I had a look at the pre-estimates of CSM, expected profit, and risk adjustment, and so on. I uploaded videos for the IFRS 17 standard and application guideline at the Mire Insurance Education Services in 2019 in Korean. It has translation and interpretation step by step, going through the standard and application guideline. That is why it must be so boring. But my intention was to encourage people to read the IFRS 17 standards with such a chance. Please be patient. It is going to be more fun and very educational to watch unless you give up. I will come back with the videos for the actual working sample actuarial models as soon as I could. Thank you very much.